Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Epza Resettlement Elementary School Stakeholders and Teachers Appreciation Ceremonies. With the Masters of Ceremonies, Mr. Royden L. Rulan and Ms. Marinel K. Cunanan, together with Mr. Brian S. Samia.
At this moment, let us bow our heads and feel the presence of God through our opening prayer.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in
To
your
strengthen
name.
our nationalism, Sir Michael Shapenko, MAPE Coordinator, will lead us now in singing the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas na silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo'y bughaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kastap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim, lupa ng araw ng luwal, hatid pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mang-aapi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Region 3, ingkislap ning tagumpe mo e mapupupos. Eped Region 3, ing laurel na ninggeling ni puntok me. Eped Region 3, ikang lilong at sandalan ning katalaruan, ikang patnube, ikang babatso, ing pamamupol tagumpe, parang alantaya ipagluwit taya, ing Deped Region 3. Deped Region 3, ing kislap ning tagumpe mo e mapupupos. Deped Region 3, ing laurel na ninggeling ni puntok me. Deped Region 3, ikang lilong at sandalan ing katalaruan, ikang patnube, ikang babatso, king pamamupol tagumpe, parang alantaya ipagluwit taya, ing Deped Region 3, parang alantaya ipagluwit taya.
Now, I would like to call in our hardworking and passionate principal, Ma'am Helen G. Hugilon, for her welcome address.
Maya malagu at masantingabak po kaya katamungan. Welcome to our first ever Stakeholders Day and my first year leadership anniversary right here in Epza Resettlement Elementary School. As instructional leader, I was indeed challenged when our DepEd Secretary, Leonora Magtoles Briones, announced before the opening of classes that there is continuity of education, whatever challenges we are facing. At first, I was feeling overwhelmed, ruminating about how to implement the learning delivery modality, LDM, designed to assure that learners attain the most essential learning competencies, MELCs, in the midst of a pandemic. However, I was able to perform efficiently my multifaceted tasks because of you. The right and sensible persons always at my side, and with deeper faith to our Heavenly Father that everything will certainly work best for the welfare and success of our dear learners. Modesty aside, we worked hard and tried our best. Looking back, at the end of the school year, we realized that international emergencies such as COVID-19 is not a hindrance in fulfilling our mission of providing education in all levels, kinder to elementary. Kaya, ngayong araw pong ito, hayaan niyo po kaming parangalan kayo sa aming simpleng natatanging paraan sa walang sawang suporta at na pinagkaloob niyo po sa amin, mapa financial, physical, moral, at spiritual. Sa pagkakataong ito, nais ko pong ipaabot ang aking taus-pusong pagpupugay sa inyong lahat na bagong kakilala at naging kaibigan. Sa mga minamahal na magulang at tagapangalaga, sa inyong pinamalas na malasakit sa paaralan, pati na rin sa inyong mga anak, at sa isang buong taon kayong matyagang pabalik-balik sa paaralan upang kumuha ng ERES SLMs at last at tulungan kami sa pagpapanatili ng kaayusan, kagandahan at kalinisan ng ating paaralan, pati na rin ng ating gulayan sa paaralan. Isang taon nyo kaming inantabayanan. Salamat po. Sa mga pamasisipag na guro na napakalaki ng ginawad ng kontribusyon sa buhay ng ating mga mag-aaral, sa walang humpay na pagtsatsaga na maabot ang mga mag-aaral sa inyong sariling paraan. Salamat po. Sa ating mga masisipag at todo suportang GPT officers sa pamumuno ni Ginang Helen Sangil at Ginang Leticia Lagarde na halos araw-araw bumibisita sa ating paaralan. Salamat po. At syempre po sa ating mga barangay officials, mga barangay workers, sa pangunguna po ni Barangay Captain Francisco Cura, at syempre po na ating masipag at laging maasahan na committee in charge sa education, si Kagawad Lucino Jun Tayag. Nakantabay din po natin si Kagawad Marlon Aquino, Kagawad Erwin Artisano, at Kagawad Jomel Capili na lagi din pong nandyan. At sa lahat ng ating mga stakeholders, internal or external stakeholders, maraming salamat po. Sana po sa susunod na taong panaruang school year 2020-2021 na magsisimula po na umpisahan ng Brigada Eskwela sa Agosto 6, at ang ating pagbubukas ng klase sa September 13, 2021 ay mananatili ang inyong walang sawang suporta sa amin, yung inyong wagas na suporta sa amin. Sa lahat ng bagay, ang Diyos ay papurihan, manatili po tayong ligtas, malusog, at masaya. Mag-ingat po tayo at saludo po ako sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay po kayo. Salamat po.
Thank you, Ma'am Helen, for your inspiring message.
And now let us move on to our awarding ceremony. First on the list are the supportive and hardworking parents, starting from the kindergarten level. Mrs. Evelyn B. Corona of Kinder Papaya, Mrs. Rosemary S. Tulosa, Kinder Papaya, Mrs. Grace G. Dizon of Kinder Lemon, Mrs. Fe T. De Dios, Kinder Lemon, Miss Angelica P. Liwanag, Kinder Lemon, Mrs. Jen A. Kasalhay, Kinder Star Apple, Mrs. Crisanta T. Yanga, Kinder Grapes, Mrs. Alma Norio, Kinder Orange, Mrs. Gladys L. Jerlaban, Kinder Pineapple, Mrs. Lani P. Kunanan, Kinder Mango, Mrs. Arlene B. Carbonco, Kinder Mango, Mrs. Cheryl D. Bansil, Kinder Mango, Mrs. Emeline C. Galang, Kinder Mango, Mrs. Rhea P. Lapus, Kinder Mango, Mrs. Vicky T. Pexon of Kinder Watermelon, Mrs. Mary Joy Amaya, Kinder Jackfruit, Mrs. Dana May B. Pineda, Kinder Jackfruit, Mrs. Christine S. Garcia, Kinder Jackfruit, Mrs. Jessa May A. Pasqua, Kinder Jackfruit, Mrs. Sandra A. Capulo of Kinder Lanzones, Mrs. Hazel L. Malonzo, Kinder Lanzones, Mrs. Alvira M. Gibo of Kinder Blueberry, Mrs. Christine Joy M. Sevilleja of Kinder Blueberry, Mrs. Charmaine Joy B. Bajong, Kinder Blueberry, Mrs. Wilma M. Esguera, Kinder Blueberry, Mrs. Caroline C. Duran, Kinder Blueberry, Mrs. Ruby D. Kapalaran, Kinder Blueberry, Mrs. Mary Chris D. Bellarmino, Kinder Lychee, Mrs. Arlene P. Balahadja, Kinder Lychee, and last but not the least, Mr. Ruben E. Go of Kinder Guava. Mrs. Evelyn B. Corona of Kinder Papaya.
Supportive parents in grade 1. Mrs. Charlotte Damali, Section Sincerity. Mrs. Annalyn Supan, Section Courage. Mrs. Laika Jane De Los Santos, Section Respect. Mrs. Vanessa Mandap, Section Respect. Mrs. Jennifer B. Kabigting, Section Honesty. Mr. Ariel J. Santos, Section Honesty.
Supportive parents in grade 2. Mrs. Leticia A. Lagarde, grade 2 Daisy. Mrs. Laika Jane L. De Los Santos, grade 2 Daisy. Mrs. Ranila R. Villamor, grade 2 Orchid. Mrs. Laila L. Abella, grade 2 Orchid. Mrs. Elaine M. Perez, grade 2 Tulip. Mrs. Alvira M. Gibo, grade 2 Tulip. Mrs. Mercy M. Mendoza, grade 2 Rose. Mr. Elson S. Julian, grade 2 Rose. Mrs. Jeanette G. Meneses, Grade 2 Santan. Mrs. Ruby D. Capalaran, Grade 2 Sunflower. Mrs. Angelica L. Alcaraz, Grade 2 Sunflower. Mrs. Maria Lourdes Lumanlan, Grade 2 Jasmine. Mrs. Jennifer C. Fabilani, Grade 2 Gumamela. Mrs. Baby Joy Morgan, Grade 2 Gumamela. Mrs. Anami U. Guevara, Grade 2 Sampaguita. Mr. Rico T. Rosel, Grade 2 Sampaguita. Mrs. Mariette G. Manuel, Grade 2 Sampaguita. Mrs. Rachel F. Manaloto, Grade 2 Ilang-Ilang. Supportive parents in Grade 2. Miss
Supportive parents in Grade 3. Mrs. Catherine Joy B. Miranda, Section Mahogany. Mr. Rodil A. Bisnar, Section Mahogany. Mrs. Milagros Belsa, Section Mahogany. Mr. Jose Francisco Saclag Beatriz, Section Mahogany. Mrs. Jennifer B. Kabigting, Section Coconut. Mrs. Mary Joyce Oplas, Section Coconut. Mrs. Rose Bilas, Section Nara. Mrs. Charmaine R. Baruga, Section Yakal. Mrs. Anami M. Guevara, Section Yakal. Mrs. Fe T. De Dios, Section Bamboo. Mrs. Eleanor C. Yabut, Section Bamboo. Mrs. Raira A. Aquino, Section Apitong. Mrs. Lolita L. Cunanan, Section Apitong. Mrs. Julie T. Katanghal, Section Apitong. Miss Michelle Timbol, Section Ipil-Ipil. Mr. Ronald Timbol, Section Ipil-Ipil. Mrs. Minda Bakiring, Section Acacia. Mrs. Maribel G. Ababon, Section Acacia. Mrs. Jenaline S. Samaniego, Section Acacia. Supportive parent.
Grade 3 Mulabe, supportive parent Mrs. Ruby P. Singyan. Mr. Ruben Igo, Grade 3 Almendra, supportive parent.
Supportive parents in Grade 4. Mrs. Christy A. Mandrilla, Grade 4 Andres Bonifacio. Mrs. Maria Lourdes Lumanlan, Grade 4 Andres Bonifacio. Mrs. Phoebe B. Daclitan, Grade 4 Apolinario Mapini. Mrs. Charlotte D. Malinaw, Grade 4 Apolinario Mabini. Mrs. Leticia B. Legarde, Grade 4 1 Luna. Mrs. Helen C. Sangil, Grade 4 1 Luna. Mrs. Annabel A. Abella, Grade 4 Gomburza. Mrs. Paz Y. Almeda, Grade 4 Gabriela Silang. Mrs. Helen C. Sangil.
Supportive parents in Grade 5. Mrs. April Lapid, Section Jose P. Laurel. Mrs. Leticia Lagarde, Section Emilio Aguinaldo. Mrs. Normina M. David, Section Manuel L. Quezon. Mrs. Maria Virginia Pare, Section Ramon Magsaysay. Mrs. Roma Singh.
Supportive parents in Grade 6. Mrs. Marisa M. Santos, Grade 6 Earth. Mrs. Dawana M. Deirit, Grade 6 Uranus.
We would like to extend our gratitude to our Angeles City Mayor, Honorable Carmelo Pogi Lazatin Jr., for all the support, especially the distribution of tablets to all the students and teachers. We would also like to thank our Angeles City Vice Mayor, Honorable Vicky Vega. Our Barangay Captain of Pulung, Cacutud, Honorable Francis Cura. Kagawad Lucino Tayag. Kagawad Jomel Kapili.
Kagawad Marlon Aquino. Kagawad Erwin K. Artesano.
Engineer Efren Bautista. Mr. Tony Trinidad. Engineer Jimmy Reynoso. And Happy Breads.
Let us also recognize the hard work of our GPTA officers. Our GPTA Officer President, Helen Sangil. GPTA Officer Vice President, Leticia Legarde. Our GPTA Officer Secretary, Roma Singson. GPTA Officer Treasurer, Raira Aquino. GPTA Officer Auditor, Jamaica Salas. GPTA Officer Business Manager, Laika de los Santos. GPTA Officer PIO, Maria Lourdes Lumanlan. GPTA Officer BOD, Josephine G. Monares. GPTA Officer BOD, LVD Relatado.
I'd also like to thank our faculty club officers. President LVD Relatado. Vice President Brian S. Samia. Secretary Marian D. Hipolito. Treasurer Emily T. Manato. Auditor Mary Jane V. Sanchez. PIO Archie F. Punzalan. Business Manager Jobel C. Sagkal. BOD Mary Ann D. Fernando. BOD Gerlin F. Serrano. BOD Anita D. Mizal. BOD Michelle B. Manalili. BOD Maribeth D. Rivera. BOD Jocelyn B. Musngi. BOD Aison T. Gueco. BOD Angelito G. Torres.
And now let's watch the fourth quarter's Maya report and the state of the school address.
Now we move on to the awarding of certificates to the English last writers. Lea de la Cruz, LV Relatado, Aileen Joy D. Cortez, Melchona V. S. Guerra, Iris H. Panganiban, Hazet D. Cortez, Marinel K. Cunanan. Next, Math Last Writers. Aison T. Gueco, Rachel S. Hill, Marcel Y. S. Pinola, Michelle B. Manalili, Imelda D. Ramos, Anita D. Mizal, Janela V. Bonifacio, Evangeline C. Bondok, Brian S. Samya, Araling Panlipunan Last Writers, Jobel C. Sadkal, Raquel R. Bangin, Rowela C. Makatula, Iris H. Panganiban, Cecilia D. Miranda, Hanelay G. Pangilinan, MTP Last Writers, Brian S. Samya, April Ann Kit G. Santo, Maureen G. Robea. Science Last Writers, Lorna D. Laksina, Shireen P. Dizon, Mape Last Writers, Juliet C. Manalasta, Maria Fe D. Salvador. Filipino Last Rider, Emily T. Manato. EPP TLE Last Riders, Angelito G. Torres, Angelito C. Calma, Rachel Ann B. Chapo. ESP Riders, Maribeth D. Rivera, Jocelyn Musngi, Division Technical Working Group, English, Leia A. De La Cruz. Division Technical Working Group, Science, Lona D. Laxina. Now we move on to the awarding of certificates to the grade level chairman. Erfelina P. Saluna, grade level chairman in kindergarten. Gerlin F. Serrano, grade level chairman in grade 1. Fatima C. Torno, grade level chairman in grade 2. Jobel C. Sagkal, grade level chairman in grade 3. Evangeline C. Bondo, grade level chairman in grade 4. Marinel K. Cunanan, grade level chairman in grade 5. Michael M. Shapenko, grade level chairman in grade 6.
Next is the awarding of certificates to the subject coordinators. Roselyn B. Cortez, MTB MLE Coordinator. Annabel P. Calleja, Aralin Panlipunan Coordinator. Melchona Esguera, English Coordinator. Maribeth D. Rivera, Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao Coordinator. Ana Maria R. Tayag, Science Coordinator. Mary Jane V. Sanchez, Filipino Coordinator. Michael M. Shapenko, MAPE Coordinator. Chris Tolentino, Mathematics Coordinator. Elena B. Basa, EPP TLE Coordinator. Now, let us award the certificates of recognition to the focal persons, special assignment, and other ancillaries coordinators. Janela V. Bonifacio, Learning Resource Coordinator. Jobel C. Sagcal, Gender and Development Coordinator. Brian S. Samya, SMEA and MNE Coordinator. Brian S. Samya, Research Coordinator. Archie F. Punzalan, LIS and EBEIS Coordinator. LVD Relatado, Supreme Pupil Government Advisor. Lorna D. Laksina, Homeroom Guidance Focal Person. Raquel R. Bangit, Child Protection Policy Coordinator. Jocelyn B. Musni, School-Based Feeding Program Coordinator. Mary Grace P. Gonzalez, Brigada Eskwela Coordinator. Carilyn D. Nituma, Adapt a School Coordinator. Josephine G. Monares, ICT Coordinator. Josephine G. Monares, School Paper Advisor. Angelito C. Calma, School Physical Facilities Coordinator. John Eris M. Castro, Gulayan sa Paaralan Program Coordinator. Angelito G. Torres, Solid Waste Management and SDRRM Coordinator. Rachel Ann B. Shapo, Project Wins Coordinator. Brian S. Samya, School-Based Management Coordinator. Lorna D. Laksina, School-Based Management, Principal 1 Leader. Leia A. De la Cruz, School-Based Management, Principal 2 Leader. Raquel R. Bangit, School-Based Management, Principal 3 Leader. LVD Relatado, School-Based Management, Principal 4 Leader.
Brian S. Samya, Boy Scout of the Philippine Scouts of the World Award, Angeles City Council Coordinator.
Recognize and appreciate the dedication, passion, and service to the Department of Education of the following teachers. 10 years in service, Mrs. Gerlin F. Serrano. 12 years in service, Mrs. Rowella G. Macatula. 12 years in service, Mrs. Evangeline C. Bondong. 12 years in service, Mrs. Maribeth D. Rivera. Service, Mrs. Jocelyn B. Musni. 12 years in service, Mrs. Maria Fe D. Salvador. 12 years in service, Mrs. Shireen P. Dizon. 12 years in service, Mrs. Mary Grace P. Gonzalez. 12 years in service, Mrs. Josephine G. Monares. 13 years in service, Mrs. Maricel Y. Espinola. 14 years in service, Miss Archie F. Punsalan. 14 years in service, Mr. Michael M. Shapenko. 15 years in service, Mrs. Angelina T. Mamaradlo. 15 years in service, Mrs. Juliet C. Manalastas. 16 years in service, Mrs. Michelle B. Manalili. 17 years in service, Mrs. Estrella Griselda P. David. 17 years in service, Mrs. Ana Maria R. Taya. 18 years in service, Mrs. Annabel P. Calleja. 18 years in service, Mrs. Maylene P. Ocampo. 18 years in service, Mrs. Annalisa A. Calderon. 19 years in service, Mr. Angelito G. Torre. 19 years in service, Mr. Angelito C. Calma. 20 years in service, Mrs. Cecilia D. Miranda. 20 years in service, Mrs. Leonila L. Pabustan. 20 years in service, Mrs. Mary Jane V. Sanchez. 21 years in service, Mrs. Emily T. Manato. 21 years in service, Mrs. Myra P. Arcilia. 24 years in service, Mrs. Raquel R. Bangit. 24 years in service, Mrs. Liwanag Z. Manalasta. 24 years in service, Mrs. Clarissa B. Ortiz. 24 years in service, Mrs. Rachel S. Hill. 24 years in service, Mrs. Leia A. De La Cruz. 25 years in service, Mrs. Dalia F. Francisco. 5 years in service, Mrs. Imelda D. Ramos. 25 years in service, Mrs. Iris H. Panganiban. 25 years in service, Mrs. Elvie D. Relatado. 25 years in service, Mrs. Cecilia L. De La Cruz. 25 years in service, Mrs. Lorna D. Laxina. 26 years in service, Mrs. Anita D. Mizal. 30 years in service, Mrs. Elena B. Basa. Let's now move on to the next part of the program. The awarding of the most punctual teachers. Gerlin F. Serrano. Maria Abigail B. Singyan. Rosalind T. Yumul. Jessica P. Serna. Dalia F. Francisco. Rachel S. Hill. Myra P. Arcilia. Bel C. Sagkal. Maribeth D. Rivera. Ana Maria B. Tayag. Mary Jane V. Sanchez.
At this lecture, we will recognize the teachers who exerted their time and efforts in developing a video lesson and showcase their confidence and outstanding performance during the lab session as lab demonstration. Best Vigil Lessons. Rosaline T. Yungol from the kindergarten. Jessica P. Serna, Best Vigil Lesson Grade 1. Eileen Joy D. Cortez, Best Vigil Lesson Grade 2. Congratulations to Bel C. Sakal, Best Vigil Lesson Grade 3. RGF Punsalan, Best Vigil Lesson in Grade 4. Royden L. Rulard, Best Vigil Lesson Grade 5. Best Vigil Lesson Grade 6, congratulations Caroline D. Nitoma. John Eris D. Castro, Best Vigil Lesson Subject Teacher. And now let's move on to the Outstanding Lag Demonstrator. Outstanding Lag Demonstrator in Kinder, Rosaline T. Yumon. Jessica P. Serna, Outstanding Lag Demonstrator, Grade 1. Congratulations, Janet A. Pineda, Outstanding Lag Demonstrator, Grade 1. We also have Raquel R. Bangin, Outstanding Lag Demonstrator, Grade 2. Angie Santos, Outstanding Lag Demonstrator, Grade 3. Congratulations, Irish H. Pamaniban, Outstanding Lag Demonstrator, Grade 4. Marinal K. Kunanan, Outstanding Lab Demonstrator, Grade 5. Michael M. Chapenko, Outstanding Lab Demonstrator, Grade 6. Congratulations, Angelito G. Torres, Outstanding Lab Demonstrator, Subject Teacher. And now let's recognize the lab demonstrators observed by our PSDS and EPS. Congratulations, Leia A. De La Cruz, lab demonstrator observed by EPS in English. Celia D. Miranda, lab demonstrator observed by PSDS. Merlene F. Serrano, lab demonstrator observed by PSDS. Lab demonstrator observed by PSDS, Eileen Joy D. Cortez. Lab demonstrator observed by PSDS, Michelle B. Garcia. Congratulations. Now let's recognize our master teachers who serve as facilitators, mentors for this school year 2020-2021. Congratulations to Ma'am Lorna D. Daxina for her exceptional performance as Master Teacher 1. Congratulations, Mr. Brian S. Samya, for his exceptional performance as Master Teacher 1. Congratulations, Mrs. Alvini Relatado, for her exceptional performance as Master Teacher 2. Lastly, congratulations, Mrs. Leia A. De La Cruz, for her exceptional performance as Master Teacher 2. At this point, let's show our appreciation and gratitude to our public schools district supervisor and to our beloved school head for their dedicated service and excellence in leadership. Certificate of recognition is hereby awarded to Dr. Leonida K. Quinto for her dedicated service and excellence in leadership as Cluster 3 Public Schools District Supervisor for school year 2020-2021. Congratulations, Dr. Leonida K. Quinto. Certificate of recognition is hereby awarded to Mrs. Helen G. Hugilon in recognition of a leader who made a difference, extraordinary contributions, and performance as school head of Epza Resettlement Elementary School for school year 2020-2021. Congratulations, Mrs. Helen G. Hugilon, Principal 4. Your ERES family is truly proud of you because in Epza Resettlement Elementary School, we make a difference. And now, let's listen to Irish Santos, SPG President, for the words of gratitude, and Helen Sangil, GPTA President, for the closing remarks.
Good afternoon po. Ganun po ngayon natin kayo po training ERES. Training guardian po yung science guardian ng pong English guardian. Kaya bigyan po sa Brian, dahil po mumura ng inyo po yan. Nasabi po ngayon po na po training. Kaya po, thank you po sa mga LGU po na tumulong sa amin, lalo na po karing start meeting guardian na yun. Lalo na salamat. Kaya po ngayon, muna-muna din. Kaya katawang malabog na Apitan. Francisco Hercura, Raycon Kagawad na, Kagawad Jomel, Kapili, Kagawad Puntayan, at Kagawad Marlon na. At po ka rin kang Consular, unang-una po yung Congressman, yan po sila, kaya kami, Jay Sanil, Liknok Banyola, at saka po yan po nga naman po kong LGU na, yan po kaya din ako GPTA officer, mga teacher po, sinapin po kaya kami gawa ng garden na yung science sa garden ang pong English garden. Kaya po, sana, hindi po piliin pa maggawa nyo po ngayon, para mag-kahit yung next year, manyagkan, punta ka na sa Topan, kung ano po sa Korea, maggawan. Para naman po finish po yung gagawan nyo. Sana po kayo po makanyat po sana ating
Magandang buhay po sa lahat. Nakakalungkot at dumating po sa punto na lilisanin ko na ang aking naging pangalawang tahanan ng 6 na taon. Ganun pa man, ang aking taus-pusong pasasalamat sa aking mga naging kamag-aral sa masayang mga araw, sa aking mga naging guro, tagapayo sa iba't ibang organisasyon, hindi ko po makakalimutan ang mga karanasan at kaalaman na inyong ibinahagi. Sa aking mahal na paaralan, mananatili ka sa puso ko. Kay Ma'am Helen, bagamat maikli, isang makabuluhang pagsasama at pagkakakilanlan po sa inyo. Sa inyo lahat ng pagpupugay at taos na pasasalamat. Magandang buhay po sa lahat, sa Diyos ang papuri.
Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. Thank you everyone for attending our Stakeholders and Teachers Recognition Day. We look forward to seeing you again in our next school year. Have a great day and keep safe always.